We would like to introduce you to our research project called Vte-Cos. It's led by researchers and patient partners from the CanVector network, along with our international collaborators. The aim of our study is to identify the most important issues for treatment of blood clots in the legs or lungs, which can also be referred to as venous thromboembolism or VTE. The success of our project relies on the participation of people like you. We are seeking a variety of perspectives throughout the research process, from patients who have experienced blood clots, their caregivers, doctors, pharmacists, researchers, among other participants. We do research to find the best treatments for patients by measuring outcomes. So, what is an outcome? It tells us how a treatment affects a patient's health, recovery, and well-being. An outcome refers to what is being measured, which could be done through a questionnaire or a physical test. There are many types of treatment outcomes. They can be physical, such as lung function or leg swelling, relate to a person's daily life, such as the ability to work or mental health, or relate to the use of resources, such as the number of days the patient is in the hospital. Outcomes can vary from one study to another, so you can imagine how many different outcomes can be identified around the world. For example, one study testing surgical outcomes might count the number of people who developed an infection, and another might count the number of days needed to recover in the hospital. As the outcomes are different, this makes it difficult to compare the results of different studies and to decide on the best treatment. Our goal is to come to an agreement on a standard set of outcomes that should be used in all studies testing treatments for VTE. When this core outcome set is used for future studies, the results will be easy to compare. Since patients will be receiving the treatment, they must have a say about which outcomes are most important to them, so our project will include a diverse group of patients. We start by creating a list of all the important outcomes. This is done by interviewing patients and caregivers, as well as medical and research professionals. Remember, there are no right or wrong answers because everyone's opinion matters. Next, we need to come to an agreement on the core or most important outcomes for all VTE treatment studies around the world. We do this by using a questionnaire in which a list of outcomes is rated, and a second questionnaire is then sent to all the participants who completed the first questionnaire. It shows what other people's ratings of importance were in the first round. This provides an opportunity for people to change their minds and helps us to come to a consensus on what is a core outcome. It's important to understand that some outcomes are quite rare, and even though they are highly relevant in some situations, they may not be considered critically important for all people with VTE. As the last step, we'll hold a meeting to discuss the findings from the questionnaires. Together, we'll decide on the final list of important outcomes to be included in our core outcome set. Future studies of VTE treatments will measure these core outcomes so that we'll have research results that we can compare. This will help patients and their doctors to make the best decisions about their care. What do you think are the most important outcomes for VTE research? If you have any questions or would like to learn more, please visit our website or email us.